Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Savage Crucible Kon-sclusive Imperial Sentry. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, here we have a look at the front of the package. It does say Imperial Sentry on the top, same on the side. We have a little write-up of the Crucible world right here on the back. The Harbinger Studios logo, and then here's a little write-up. If you want to pause it and read that, you can. And then we have some nice artwork down in that logo. Lots of little hidden things down there. If you give it a good look, you can see just about everything that the Imperial Sentry comes with. He even has a little baggie down at the bottom with some extra accessories, a couple of extra swords. So let's get this guy opened up and see everything he comes with. First up, we're going to take a look at the card we got here, and it looks like... oh, this is the variant of the Como of the Isles. What is this guy called? The Croaking Hybrid. I don't have this card at this point, so this is really good to get. Here's a look at the write-up if you want to add this to your D&D game. And you can see it's the Como art with a different head. And I dig it. I like this artwork. It's really nice. Taking a look at the accessories he comes with, he does come with two gesturing or clawing hands with horizontal hinges. He has two sword gripping hands with vertical hinges on him in the package. So nicely sculpted, a little paint on the fingernails there. He comes with two of these swords that we've seen before, but these are very nicely painted. They have a nice paint on the wraps of the swords and a nice wash to kind of give it this grungy, dirty looks. Even a wash over the straps on the sword looks really nice. I love when they paint the handles. That looks great. Next up, we have what I like to refer to as the Lemurian lightsabers. We get two of these nice, big, huge, crazy-looking swords, but this time they come in this translucent, glowing plastic. You can see that we got some paint on the hilt there, and then we have this translucent, bright red to orange to yellow plastic, and it's done very nice. That gradient from one color to the next is really nice, and you can see that this is a pretty large sword, and you get two of them. Now, starting off with the figure just standing straight up and down right out of the package, this guy is incredible. He looks beautiful. I love this paint job. I love the armor with that brushed metal with like the pinkish purple accent colors. I think it looks really nice. It plays very well with the orange in the figure's skin tone. So you can see lots of detail here, lots of rivets and detail, all sculpted and painted on this guy. He just looks incredible. That armor is just, it's a standout armor. I know we've seen it in a different version of this figure as well, but it's just repainted here and it looks nice. You do get four sword hilt like sheaths that are really cool, and we're going to go over how those work in just a second. But this guy just looks great, standing straight up and down right out of the package. Oh man, yeah, he's definitely incredible. So let's take a closer look at this guy here. He is looking mighty fantastic. I just love all of the detail. Just look at that armor, the detail on the head, the paint apps on the head. The mouth does open. Let's kind of lift his head up a little bit so we can get in there, and you can see that inside of the mouth is painted. Each tooth is individually painted, which is nice. It just looks really, really cool. Look at the brushed metal and the pink color on his armor looks great. This figure was painted by Eric Miller. You guys may know him from some of the customizing that work he does in the Cabal for Four Horsemen for the Mythic Legions. You can see that the little pads here, these little sheaths poke in through the armor and into the back of the figure, so they really help hold that armor down close to the figure's back, which looks really, really cool, and they just pop right back in. You can see how the shoulder pads are actually plugged into the back of the shoulders. Here's some of that armor. Let's lift this up. You get the articulated tail this time, so it has 1, 2, 3 points of articulation inside of the tail, and then a point of articulation at the top. And yeah, just look at the beautiful paintwork here, and all the rivets on the armor. Like I said, this was painted up by Eric Miller. His paintwork is incredible. If you guys are in the Cabal, you'll see his artwork, his painting there. So I want to show you how these sheaths work. They have a split on the back, so you literally can put any size sword in here that you want. This is kind of hard to do from behind the camera, but you just kind of like get this thing opened up a little bit, and then you can slide any kind of sword in there, no matter how long or wide it is. If it's got nubs on the end like this does, it's got this little hook piece on the end, it's got these little pointy bits on the sword. You can actually get it. So I really dig that. I think it's a neat way to do the sheaths there. And yeah, this guy is fantastic. Now this was the Kickstarter exclusive figure, and so let's go over the articulation real quick. He can look up that far, down that far. His head's got a nice, amount of bobble and tilt to it, so you can get a lot of emotion out of that. The arms can go out. Let's see if we can hit that. We've got 2 sets of armor here that's kind of gonna clash a little bit, so I wonder if we're gonna be able to hit that T-pose. And yep, if I push it just a little bit further, yeah, you can almost hit that T-pose, even with both sets of armor on the shoulders. You do get this full rotation in the arm, even though you've got the armor, because it's positioned in 2 parts. You've got this really nice butterfly joint that kind of hides in back behind the back of the figure. It kind of slides in and doesn't give you any unseemly joints. You do have some upper bicep swivel. You have double jointed elbows, but you're only going to get about that far with the double joints. And we do have rotation at the top and bottom of the elbow, and you have a vertical hinge on the sword wielding hands, which I really, really love. You do get 2 points of articulation here at the torso, one at the upper diaphragm joint, and then one at the waist. They both rotate. The upper one bobbles. You can bend forward all the way forward like that, and you can lean him back about that far. You do get that gap, but you know what? This little piece of armor that kind of hangs down kind of covers that up a little bit, which is really nice. You've got upper thigh swivel as well. Foot can go, or leg can go all the way forward that far, and can go back that far. It runs into the back of his lizard butt. We do have rotation at the top and below the knee. Double jointed knees, you can get back a pretty good amount, which I dig, and that's really cool. And then we do have the upper, what is it? Upper calf boot cut. Right above the greaves, we do have a hinge, swivel, rocker, and toe articulation down at the foot. And I did want to talk about the feet, because I know a lot of people have trouble posing these Savage Crucible figures. They don't really stand up properly, and everybody thinks that it has to do with the toes, and I don't think it has anything to do with the toes at all. Rob was talking about on one of the live streams about how the post that goes into the foot to give you that rocker, the little cavity that the post goes into causes a little bit of a bubble on the bottom of the foot. If you actually rub your finger across the top of the foot, you can see how it's got a little raised bit right there. It's a little bitty bump right there, and that little bitty bump is just enough to make the figure rock forwards and back and give them a hard time to stand up. So he said they are addressing that, and hopefully that will not be an issue on the second wave of figures. This guy is absolutely gorgeous. Let's get him standing up with some other figures and see how he stacks up to other figures in this same scale. All right, here he is next to a Mythic Legions Billbone's Broken Shield figure. You can see how he stacks up with those guys. Here he is next to a Star Wars Black Series figure, even though Luke's a little small, but he is up on a riser, a little display stand. Let's bring in a G.I. Joe Classified series. Here is Copperhead. They're comparable to your Joes, and then a Masters of the Universe Origins figure. So let's get these guys out of the way and get this guy into some lighting and into some backdrops and see how he poses up. Man, I got to tell you, I am very stoked to have gotten my hands on this figure. I thought I'd missed out because I thought at first that this was just a Kickstarter exclusive. I didn't know that Savage Crucible was going to be taking this guy around to cons, and I have been to a couple of cons this year where they were there. I think I've seen them at shows like 3 times this year already. Twice they've had figures, and both times they had this figure for sale. So you can still get your hands on this. You just got to catch them at a con. So I'm not sure what their next con is going to be at. If you want to pick this guy up, it might be RetroCon. I'm not sure. Check out their website to see when their con schedule or their Instagram account, and I'm sure they'll let you know. This guy is beautiful. I love the armor. I love the sheaths. I love the weapons. I love everything he comes with. I love the beautiful paintwork by Eric Miller. It's just incredible. This guy looks fantastic. And if you got like some of the armor packs that we have reviewed before, you can definitely throw some of those packs on, change this guy up, add some parts and pieces, get out there and make your own custom lizards, because these guys are amazing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.